WCW Thunder is back! Or is that WWF SmackDown? Okay. So, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, kiddies, guess what? Tonight we had an episode of Impact Wrestling, brother. And it was the first full night of Impact Wrestling. First of all, before I get to my thoughts on tonight's episode, if you guys have it, please follow me on Twitter. The link will be down there in the description box. Right down there. There you go. So yeah, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter, please feel free to follow me on Twitter. Thank you. So anyway, back to Impact Wrestling. First off, Impact Wrestling. There you go. Alright, the show kicked off with Bischoff and Immortal. You know, basically talking about how, you know, now there's a new regime. And then, you know, there's no longer TNA Impact. And by the way, everything's set up new in TNA, in the TNA Wrestling Impact Zone. Everything's blue, basically. The ropes are blue, the stage is actually, I gotta admit, the stage set is nice. The ring itself is, you know, pretty, you know, it's not the classic six-sided ring, obviously. We're not gonna get that back, sadly. But, you know, it doesn't say TNA or on the turnbuckles anymore. Now it just says Impact Wrestling and stuff, so yeah. And instead of it being the, you know, colors red, blue, so yeah, you get the idea. So anyway, the show kicked off. Impact, they had Immortal and, you know, Eric Bischoff. They came out, they talked about how the new regime stuff. Then came out the X Division guys, you know, Brian Kendrick, Generation Me, you know, guys like that, came out, talked about how they've been buried ever since the Hogan and, you know, Bischoff regime started, and they want their attention. They, you know, they think their time, they want their time, and, you know, I don't blame them, you know. And I think it's a good idea that, you know, we get the X Division on our television. You know, now it's not like, I mean, think about it, this was the prime and soul of the early days of TNA, was the X Division. This is one of the big things that separated WWE from TNA, was the X Division. WWE didn't have an X Division. TNA had an X Division. It didn't matter what, how much you weighed and stuff. There was no weight class. It was just the fact that you were a high flyer, a risk taker, and really entertain the crowd. So yeah, Eric Bischoff said, "Don't worry, tonight we're gonna have history made." You know, we had some few matches made, such as Abyss versus Kazarian for the X Division Championship. Now, that match itself wasn't too bad, but the result fucking sucked in my opinion, if that makes sense. It was a good match, horrible ending. Abyss is the new X Division champion. Now, I did hear about this on Monday. I saw it in the spoilers, so I wasn't like total shocked when I saw it. I wasn't like, oh my god. But still, the fact they did it. Why is Abyss the X Division champion? I get it. Bischoff wants to kill the X Division. I get it. There's no... Einstein needs to figure that out, but really, he needs to kill it by putting freaking Abyss out of all people. When the hell have you seen Abyss do like a freaking high-risk taking move? Abyss is the X Division champion. I mean, people could say, oh, what about Samoa Joe? At least Samoa Joe could, you know, freaking fly for... Samoa Joe could fly for a big guy, surprisingly. But, yeah, so we had that. Abyss is your X Division champ. And also we had tonight, we had the 6 knockout tag team match. It was Madison Rain, Sarita and Rosita versus Tara, Mickie James, and Miss Teschmacher. Typical, it was alright match. Madison literally pushes Rosita into Tara. Tara does this like powerbomb type thing, kind of like what? Think of it. I don't know what's it called. It was like, I know Albert. You know, you guys know Prince Albert from TNA. You know, WWF. It was kind of, it looked kind of like that. But anyway, they won. Tara, Mickie James, and Miss Teschmacher won. Then we had Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle promo. Apparently, this feud between Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett did not end at Sacrifice. It's supposed to be end at Slammiversary, because the winner of Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle at Slammiversary becomes the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. Hopefully this ends the feud. Please, God, let Kurt Angle win. God, seriously. Oh man, off the rope show. You know, you've seen that, guys? What was it? Jeff Jarrett position. Then we had Samoa Joe versus Amazing Red. Now it's a good thing Amazing Red got attention, but the fact that he got jobbed by Joe. Really? Amazing Red gets buried by Samoa Joe. Not saying Samoa Joe ain't good, but that match lasted freaking what? 2.5 minutes? And it was a total squash. I think Red did like a kick and that was it. Oh. I had a headache, man. Then we had Velvet Sky versus Winter Angelina in a handicap women's match. Velvet Sky rolls up Angelina Love, and I love how Angelina Love gets up. Because the way she got up, I swear to God, that was like Undertaker type style. Like, she was like this. All of a sudden, she just rises up and just looks at Velvet. And then we had the return of ODB. So yeah, Velvet wins, but gets attacked by ODB at the end. That basically sums it up. My thoughts: ODB versus Velvet Sky. Supposedly Angelina Love might move on, so I guess Velvet Sky won the Angelina Love and Velvet feud, and I guess TNA's possibly thinking, supposedly, of having Angelina Love feud with Mickie James, which should be good. I mean, that's actually should be a good match, but I noticed since Angelina Love's been in this whole kind of like, how do I say this phase, this zombie-like storyline thing with Winter, that, you know, her moveset's been kind of limited, which is not good. Because Angelina Love is talented, believe it or not. Then we had this promo between Tommy Dreamer and AJ Styles. It was good, you know. I thought it did what it needed to do. But why is TNA making AJ Styles look so freaking fragile? It seems like after every pay-per-view now these days, the doctor said, I gotta be out for freaking 4 months. I'm gonna wrestle you next week. So yeah, next week is Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer versus AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Okay. And then we had Ric Flair and Robbie Roode cut a promo. Robbie Roode or Bobby Roode, whatever it wants to be called now. It was a good promo. You know, I thought it was a very good promo. Robbie Roode. Gotta get used to saying that. That guy, I'm telling you, he's a future. He's got good mic skills, and you know, obviously he's talented in the ring. So TNA's got something there. Oh yeah, and forgot to mention after the whole Samoa Joe and Amazing Red Crimson came out, Sata's cousin. So yeah, that should be good. Then we have Mr. Anderson, you know, come out with this old retro type style look of Sting. While Sting was cutting a promo, he attacked him. So obviously Mr. Anderson's trying to, you know, make fun of Sting, like the old school Sting. So, you know, obviously building up the feud makes sense. Good thing. And then we had the main event. Matt Hardy and Eric Bischoff versus Generation Me. I love how TNA calls themselves Wrestling Matters. You have Eric Bischoff in a motherfucking match. How the hell does Wrestling matter, brother? If you have Eric Bischoff in a match. So anyway, the match happens, and guess who wins? Matt Hardy and Eric Bischoff picks up the victory. And I believe it was Max Buck. Yeah, he pinned Max Buck. Not Jeremy, Max Buck. So yeah. Apparently, according to TNA. Now, I guess you could say this is kind of like a Vicky Guerrero pinning John Morrison situation, but let's not get into that, because that's for another video. But yeah, Impact Wrestling, brother. I'll give TNA this. At least they're trying to do something new. I'll give them credit. You're trying to do something new. You want to be successful. I'll give you guys that. And you had some good moments tonight. Then you had some moments like Abyss becoming X Division champion and Eric Bischoff beating Generation Me with Matt Hardy. That made me stand there like, what the hell? And then you bury Amazing Red. I hope this ain't a sign of things to come. Because Vince McMahon's going to laugh his ass off when he buys you